Shalom. Time now is 11:45 hours on this so-called May the 2nd, which is a Friday so-called, and it is the year 2025. But as I record time, this is the 18th day of the second month in the year 5996. And time now, we've already said it's now 11:46 hours. I wanted to read this that came to me about it came to me today. Just trying to get the time right if I have it, but don't look like I have the time. Okay, here it is. It came to me around 1000 hours today, and I began to I received a vision, and I began to write out my vision by way of the body of a email, the body text of an email. So I opened up my Gmail account using my Apple phone, and I just began to type what came to me. I'm going to read it just like it came to me, or just like I had recorded it. And this is concerning the tribe of Ephraim as it relates to my personal lineage. So, I sent this message to myself, and I received it at 11:05 hours by way of the timestamp on the printed email that I sent to myself. But it reads, the tribe of Ephraim, 18th day, second month, 5996, the year, which is 2nd of May, 2025. By way of Joseph and Asenath, Ephraim, and then I have in parentheses 10,000s, and Joseph and Asenath, they begot Ephraim. Ephraim is the progenitor as it relates to my line, my direct line of genealogy. So, I then go to make my first point, the third and fourth generations of Ephraim, they lived and dwelled in Goshen. This was pre-Egypt captivity. The next entry, where it shows the influence of the tribe of Ephraim, came with the leader, Joshua. While in the wilderness 40 years, leading Yah's children even into the promised land, and after coming into the promised land, their conquests and their victories in obtaining that promised land. And then the next entry takes us to the time period of the judges. And the tribe of Ephraim that was to be expounded upon was that of the judge Deborah. She judged for 40 years. So this had to have been a time relatively of peace and war, because later she had convinced Barak to attack the king of Canaan, King Jabin. And apparently there was some unjust rulings done by King Jabin of Canaan, and Deborah of the tribe of Ephraim. She convinced Barak to attack the king and therefore defeat the king. And I have heard stories of Deborah acting as a judge, if you will, sitting under a tree, and she judged the people for 20 some odd years. They would come to her seated under that tree, and they would present whatever issue that they had or against another, and she would judge in righteousness. She is definitely underlooked. And then also another judge from the tribe of Ephraim is Abdon. And something significant of him, he had 40 sons, he had 30 grandsons, and they all rode on 70 donkeys. 70 donkeys. And he judged for 8 years. Now, a very, very huge, big note that I inserted here before we push on is, big note, make mention of this, Boaz. He is from the tribe of Judah. Boaz married Ruth, who is from the tribe of Ephraim, by way of her fallen husband Mahlon, the tribe of Ephraim, who died, and they together, Ruth and Mahlon, did not have any children. And as Ruth and her mother-in-law Naomi returned back to Jerusalem, Boaz married Ruth, obeying Yah's levirate marriage law, or the kinsman redeemer law. Thus, Obed, the son born between Ruth and Boaz, is counted for the fallen kinsman, for Ruth's fallen husband, Mahlon, who is from the tribe of Ephraim. Therefore, Obed, we know, begot Jesse, also from the tribe of Ephraim. And we also know that Jesse begot David, also from the tribe of Ephraim. And it is also said that Samuel, who was the judge, who was also a priest and a prophet and a seer and a counselor to King Saul of the first kingdom, and also of King David of the second kingdom, the time when the kingdoms were united before they split to the northern and the southern kingdom. But it is even said that Samuel is of the tribe of Ephraim. All of these powerful people from the tribe of Ephraim, as we progress down through the lineage, with hopes of ending with me in that lineup. So when the two kingdoms had split, the northern kingdom, their first king was King Jeroboam, who was from the tribe of Ephraim. And he reigned, and then his son reigned after him. But he reigned from 931 BC to 910 BC, and his son maybe less than 10 years afterwards, before the Assyrian invasion by King Sargon II. King Sargon II. So in the year 722 BC, the northern kingdom fell to Sargon II. However, a remnant of the tribe of Ephraim still remained in that northern kingdom's area, as well as a remnant fleeing to the southern kingdom, where the tribe of Judah was the main tribe, co-located with the tribe of Benjamin, and even some of the priests out of the tribe of Levi. And I believe even Simeon had some of his people in the southern kingdom. Then later, the southern kingdom was invaded by the Babylonians, and the temple was destroyed, and there was 70 years of exile, and this was around the year 586 BC. And as they served their exile period of 70 years or so, the temple began to be rebuilt through the leadership of Shealtiel and Zerubbabel. Shealtiel and Zerubbabel, the branch. And he served as governor, as king priest. So after that Babylonian captivity, 70 righteous shepherds and 70 unrighteous shepherds, as far as the book of Enoch, chapter 89, verse 62, and chapter 4 through 39. Salakia. That's either chapter 89, beginning at 62, and for the unrighteous servants, that looks like it may start up in the book of Enoch, chapter 89, beginning with verse 4 through 39. And following that period of time, we roll into the Maccabean era, where Simon, the son of Onias, rebuilt and restored and rededicated the temple, before we usher in the next king priest, Yahushua the Prince, whose parents, Mary and Joseph, the prophecy was fulfilled, having Shiloh coming from her, from them. And as Genesis chapter 49 verse 10 states, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, thus according to the covenant made with David, the son of Jesse of the tribe of Ephraim. Until Shiloh comes. Shiloh is here. Shiloh represents the tribe of Ephraim. And another big note to insert here at this point, all genealogy from Yahushua the Prince to my lineage has been lost through disguises, falsehoods, and lies from the Satans and or other wicked ones. However, I can trace my direct lineage for 9 generations, beginning about the 1700s up to present day, this year 2025 AD. So there is a gap. The gap is from the 30s AD sometimes, up to 1600s AD. Therefore, it has yet to be revealed to me by the Most High Power. But if it cannot be revealed or proven through bloodline that I am a descendant from the line of Ephraim, then there are no worries, because I will then make a request to my Most High Power to cleave to to me by way of me being grafted into the tribe of Ephraim. Let your will be done, Abba Yahweh. Hallelujah. It is in your son's name, Yahweh Shai, the Prince, I pray, so be it. So, my direct genealogy as of this 18th day, second month, 996th year, and at the time, 2500 hours, I presented my 10 generations, beginning with the 0 generation, which is that of my older sister Donna, her son Reggie, my nephew, and Reggie's son Reggie Jr., which is my great nephew, and Reggie Jr.'s child. I forget if it's a boy or a girl, or he may have both, because Reginald Jr. just had a child, and the name I do not know. So that's the 0 generation. Then we'll go to my first generation, or generation number 1, which is Emma, and she's my granddaughter. And then I bumped it up to generation number 2, which is Taja and Christian, which are my son and daughter, my daughter and son. And then the 3rd generation, which I am in. And the 4th generation, my parents, Loretta and Clayton Sr. In the 5th generation, my grandparents, Lula and Otis, and also Florence and Raleigh. And my great-grandparents, Birdie and Elbert, Johnny and Doris, Ida and Edward, Dora and Thomas. And my great-great-grandparents, this is 7th generation, Mary and Frank. And then there's an unknown couple. And then we have Rosa and an unknown male. And then we have Rosie and Robert, or Bob. And then we have Lucy and Lewis, Jane and Stanhope, Lizzie and Alexander, M and J. These are my great-great-grandparents. And going into that 8th generation, we have Lucinda and Andrew, Miranda and Benjamin, Charity and an unknown grandfather. These are my great-great-great-grandparents, generation number 8 and generation number 9. These are my great-great-great-great-grandparents, Cassie and Derry, and then an unknown grandmother with James. Time now is 12:04, 100 hours on this so-called Friday, May the 2nd, 2025. We are in a prep day. In about 6 hours, give or take, we will transition into the weekly Shabbat. All praises to the Most High Abba forever. Hallelujah. And it is in His Son's name, Yahweh Shai, the Prince, I pray. So be it.